Oh, hello, hello. Good evening, everybody. Hope you're all well. Um, woo! What a moment! What a week! What a 2 weeks! What a 3 months! We're on episode 5 already. Yesterday, episode 5 was launched for Trauma to Success, and we started shooting in end of November, and now we're finally in a flow, in a mission, in a just it's all just going right, and it just really puts a big smile on my face because it's something that I've been wanting to work on for so long, and then finally able to get it going. And I just want to thank all of the team at Booked, at Talented, my business partners, everybody who has supported me to take some time away from running and managing Booked and Talented. Created all the baseline of it, and then now my team are fully functional, doing it, pushing it forward. They don't need me every day, and they're just wonderful. And they allow me to spend time to create what I feel is a very meaningful and a great passion of mine, Trauma to Success podcast. And I'm meeting some incredible people along the way. I mean, right now we're going to spend some time looking back at episode 4. And the reason why I'm looking back a full week back is because I was actually a bit sick last week, and I just couldn't quite switch my brain into functioning properly, and I needed a little bit of rest and a bit of a break because it's been a wild time over the last few months. And so we're now going to look back at episode 4, which is all about typecast and like kind of breaking the mold of the industry. I just want to say I'm still in Bali. I've had some incredible podcasts here. I'm just in my villa room. I've got the sunlight coming through. I wanted to do it outside so you could see this wonderful place that I'm staying in, thanks to your host, Bali. Um, they have amazing villas, and one of my great friends runs the company, and she's doing such an amazing thing. And actually, I'm going to do a podcast with her when I come back to Bali. But it was too hot. It was too hot to be outside. So I've had to come into my room, and I've moved all the table and chairs, but I've got this beautiful sunlight coming through. I've got the net over, so it's not so bright. So you'll see there's a little bit of sunlight patches around. But it's just such a great vibe, and such a beautiful place, Bali, that obviously I understand why so many people come here and work. But you know, I'm going back to KL soon because I miss my place, I miss my structure and my things that I've got there, and my team. And yeah, it's so nice to be able to come to somewhere like Bali, and I'm so honored that I get to meet some amazing people in these places and do amazing things with them, like set up podcasts and all this. But I'm looking forward to getting back to KL and kind of putting my structure back in place and doing more podcasts. I've just booked in a podcast now for the 26th and maybe for the 28th as well, with some amazing people who are doing amazing things, and I just can't wait to open up the conversations with them. So it's just been a whirlwind, guys. I don't know, whoever doesn't know me, maybe this is one of your first times here, and you're like, who the hell is this guy? I haven't seen him around. I don't know who he is. And you're right to think that, like, what the hell is this? Well, my name's Carl Graham, and I'm the host of Trauma to Success. I'm also a founder of Booked, which is a talent booking platform, and a founder and creator of Talented. Talented is an education structure and platform for all types of talents. And this is where it really brings me to what I do for Trauma to Success, because for 24 years I've been in this industry as a model, as a talent, mainly modeling, but then doing some acting and emceeing and speaking. And I'm very passionate about what this industry can deliver and provide for people. If they just know a few things. Gosh, the sun's coming right through there. My face is just blown out. Anyway, you'll have to excuse the the lighting effects here. Anyway, it's pretty cool. So yeah, I'm really passionate about what this industry can do for people. I mean, back then I was just a ventilation engineer, and I had no clue how I could get into modeling, or I mean, even back then there was no such thing as modeling in my town, and I went to a nightclub and won this little bit of a competition. But then I still needed to learn because nobody was really there to teach me. Nobody gave me some instant guidance. I didn't get some big fame thing happening. I didn't get sent over to New York Fashion Week or anything. I was just a very, very bog standard human being in the industry, just starting out and not really knowing what to do, and having no guidance, to being fairly successful for 25 years now. Traveled around the world, worked with some amazing people, and I've met amazing people from the production side, but also from the talent side. I really, truly believe that there is space for every single person to become a talent and to work in this industry, whatever level that may become or will be for you. There is space. You've just got to understand what you're stepping into. And look, the world is changing, right? I mean, gosh, there's just so much we can do. I mean, I can just stick up this camera and start speaking, and maybe some people will watch, and it will trigger something, and then that becomes part of my career, my development. I can start making money if people watch it. So, if I'm providing value, then that basically gives you a step up, right? That gives you the opportunity to develop more and build a career within the industry. And of course, with social media, that means that there's many, many more requirements for talents, not just those big campaigns anymore. We have all types of jobs happening, from events to social media sharings to big campaigns to TV dramas to these vertical dramas now that have just started to pop up, and it really kind of inspires me to be like, guys, grab hold of this moment. You have this chance. You gotta take it. You've gotta just grab hold of this moment. And so, I guess, like, after the years of developing the booking platform and the talent education and teaching people, thousands of people come through my studios before, and we've had wonderful results, and it's just been a great journey. And many of them have just developed and just gone on their journey, right, which is incredible. I really just am so passionate about sharing this information that Trauma to Success podcast allows me to now navigate my network and bring you other people who can share their stories and can open up the doors from what they've been through. Because what I've been through is just one thing, right? But if I can share to you these other amazing people who have been developing themselves, and we can all learn from it, and you can take little things from all these amazing people and kind of bring it into your life and just be like, yeah, I can do it. Now, what's it going to take? Because ultimately, life is short. And, make sure that you're supported. Make sure that you have your income. Make sure that you have skill sets that make you great, even if you're not modeling. Let's just say that, so you have a career in whatever line. You can be anything. But then the modeling, acting, dancing, singing, emceeing, speaking on stage, doing social media is kind of the extra benefits of who you are already. So, you've got confidence, you build up your networks, you can speak, you can share things, and you're not afraid of photos, and you're not afraid of video, and you can move on video in a natural way. Even if you're an accountant, right? You can then still do talent work. So for me, there is so much opportunity, and that's why I'm so driven to bring Trauma to Success to your screens, so that you can you can have this shared experience with these other incredible people who have done so well in their careers. But then also, I'll be sharing more about Booked, the booking platform, Talented, the education, and then we're also developing an ecosystem of production and many, many other things in the ecosystem that I'm working on with my business partners. And it's just such an incredible industry to be part of. And I'm so proud of, everybody that I meet who takes the step forward to really truly develop their skill sets, develop themselves, grow their determination, their grit, their skill sets, and really put it out there, because it's quite scary, right? But this is what it takes, and we're here to support, we're here to share, we're here to open up the conversations of what we all go through. It doesn't matter how wonderful something looks. Like I'm going to be sharing a video next week. I mean, it's not really that crazy, but people see me here in Bali and thinking, "Oh my God, life's so perfect." And then I got flown off to Bangkok because I did a commercial campaign there, and then I got flown back. But, you know, you don't see the other side of it with everybody, right? You don't see the struggles, the things they have to go through, the decisions they have to make, the sacrifices, the stuff that happens, that everybody goes through those things. We only show the best parts, really. And that is cool, but we have to understand that every single person, no matter how successful they look or how wonderful their life looks, there is sacrifices. There are things they've had to do. There are development skill sets that they've had to grow over time. And, you know, for me, building this podcast, it's just a totally different zone, totally different thought. I mean, I'm a model, it's like I do acting and I'm an MC sometimes, but this is different, right? This is me meeting people and kind of asking questions and delving deep into their lives to give you something that I believe will be extremely useful. And yeah, it's a whole different world to comprehend and to put together. So, we see the glam, always see the glam, but we've got to understand that with the glam, there is this undertone of pressure and stress and worry and fear. And what I want to do is enlighten you all to just think, yeah, okay, that best baseline is there for everybody. But what do I need to do? How do I get through that? How do I wake up in the morning and just start delivering value and start to make steps towards what I perceive to be success for myself? And these episodes are there to immerse you into the world of somebody else and to get inspired by the way they are and the things that they do and what they've been through and how they share, because everybody's individual. Every single one of us is a beautiful individual person that can just do something that nobody else can ever do because you're you. And that fits nicely with the episode 4 of Typecast, right? And we'll go a little bit deeper into that, but I just want to touch on this a little bit more because it comes up over and over again, about people thinking they're not good enough or that they're not right or that, oh, but clients only book this kind of person. And it's actually not right. They will book a certain person because that matches their brand identity and their brief, but there's still several people within that kind of genre that they would select from. And that person is going to be, somebody who comes across confident, somebody who comes across that they know what they're doing, somebody who comes across that they're prepared, somebody that knows how to deliver quickly because they understand the value of that for clients. And so it's not necessarily just that, oh, it's these people. No, within that group of people, there are then a chosen few that are the ones who are developing and progressing and preparing and and delivering value. And so no matter how you look, it doesn't actually matter. It's about how you're delivering value to those clients and brands. And that's the main key for us all to start actually just having as the baseline. Like, it doesn't matter how good looking you think you are or how good looking somebody else is. It actually doesn't matter because that's not what the client wants all the time. I have a booking platform that books hundreds, if not thousands of talents, and they're all different. Like everybody's different and they're all getting booked. And, because the client wants different things for different times and different branding. And, sometimes they'll want, if there's a TV drama or if it's a vertical drama or a commercial for something that's a bit quirky. I mean, we had this guy who was in his 40s book an underwear campaign. They wanted a dad bod, and he got the job because he was able to deliver amongst the guys that were all pre-selected. So please, have this mindset that it doesn't matter what you think you look like. Actually, the client may want that. And so what does matter is what you deliver, what you give as value for those brands and those clients. So if you do amazing videos, or you're funny, or you can just talk lots, or you can take amazing pictures, or your fitness, or you got good skin, or your hair is fantastic, or you have something quirky that you can do, and you can share about those things, that brings value, and that's the thing that you need to be aware of. Excuse me. And so that's where really episode 4 with Emmanuel, who shares it so eloquently. I mean, please watch that episode. I mean, he's incredible the way he shares the information, and I learned so much from him. Being on the opposite side of the table and just listening. Such a smart man, and really has learned how to deliver and create this level of value that makes him so valuable that he's been able to create a career, even though many people would just typecast him as one thing because of the way he physically looks. He knew, if I deliver value, if I create something that's different, I'm going to be able to get these other roles. And so what's happened is he's been able to develop his skill sets. He's been able to push forward in the industry when other people may not have, because of his strong mindset of being able to deliver quality and value. And with that quality and value, other brands start thinking, maybe we want to use him. Maybe we need that because, he delivers, he's on point. So let's get him. Let's get him in. Let's have him on our brand because we want that delivery. And so what I want you to do is go back and watch how he talks about the typecasting in this industry. And it all starts from what we believe advertising is and was. And things are definitely changing. But what's happening is that you now have the ability to create yourself in whatever manner you want, because it is the era of attention. It is the era of showing value. It is the era of showing professionalism, no matter how you look. Generally, if there's 4 or 5 people who look the same, similar, right? But you're the one that knows how to deliver quickly, professionally, you're on time, you're a nice person, your personality is great with everybody, then you're going to be the one that gets selected and potentially rebooked and reselected as well. And what Emmanuel does is in episode 4 is he explains this so well, so much better than me. I mean, I'm just trying to reiterate the points that typecasting in the industry exists only because talents allow it to exist. But it's not actually true. Now, of course, they may want a Chinese person for a particular role, or they may want a Caucasian person, but they may want a Caucasian person without gray in their hair. They may want a Caucasian who's got more blonde hair or black hair, or they want Caucasian with green eyes, not blue eyes. So this whole typecasting doesn't actually exist. It's only what we perceive it to be, because we've made excuses. As talents, we've just made excuses like, oh, they're typecast for this, or I'm typecast for that. But actually, you can go out of that. You can go out of that zone. You can get out of that comfort zone, and you can just go, well, actually, that's not true. It's just I'm not delivering. Be honest with yourself and just say, I'm not actually delivering right. That's why they've booked the other person, not because of me. Now, there are exceptions to the rule, of course, because the client has the right to decide who is booked for certain things, and maybe they want a particular look for their brand because that is who they're advertising to. What I'm trying to say is that within that bracket, you have to be the one that's delivering to the highest quality possible. It's not about how you look at that point, because you're all going to look similar for the type of person they want. But it's actually about how you deliver being the person that they want. So you've got to switch that mindset around and start to really deliver based on you delivering the very best that you can, showing up on time, being professional, being kind to everybody, being a good energy, being able to take the photos quickly. Even when you go to a casting, taking your straight, right, left, and a few expressions quickly makes a big difference for the client to select you. Video casting, saying your name, where you're from, your height, and turning right, turning left, 360 in a smile, and doing the expressions quickly, easily, confidently, means that you're already standing out against everybody else. And that is what this is about. It's about breaking that mold of, it's not about what they want in terms of the look. It's actually what they want in terms of you delivering value. And you've got to look at value in many different ways, because you're a business. You're a business you're a business that is developing skill sets to bring more value to more brands. And so you have a duty to be able to deliver, no matter how you look. It doesn't matter, actually. So please, let's start changing the narrative. Let's start changing the mindset in this, and listen to episode 4, Typecast, Breaking the Mold of the Industry with Emmanuel, because he actually has lived that. And he just made this decision that that's just not going to be the way that it is, because he believes that he can build and grow and develop and bring more value to the brands, not based on the way he looks, but based on the things that he can deliver. Now that is an incredible mindset for every single person, including myself, to follow. Because we all start to pigeonhole ourselves, right? Like, even for me, if I look at me, I'm like, I start pigeonholing myself into, oh yeah, a graying 45-year-old man, who would want that one, right? But actually, I've got to start changing that narrative of my own mindset to be like, no, somebody's going to want me. I need to be delivering at the very best all of the time, and be ready. Be ready for those opportunities. And so what are those opportunities? Well, I get to decide that, right? Like building a podcast and creating a whole new kind of level of sharing, me going out of my comfort zone and getting rid of my nerves before I come on and do these lives, and just start saying, do you know what? It's fine. Like, this is something that I'm passionate about. It's something that I care about. I'm going to deliver. I'm going to do it. I'm going to bring value. I'm going to build something, a platform where other people can come in and give value. I'm going to build a platform where where you viewing, the audience can get value. So my mission changes, and it's about me delivering. It's not about me being typecast or me having experience. It's actually just about me saying, no, I'm going to do that. The same with being an actor, model, dancer, singer, MC, voiceover, whatever it is, social media content creator, UGC. You decide. You decide what's coming next. That's the only thing. And what I love about Emmanuel is that he's always looking to perfect and be prepared. And that's the main thing. He's not afraid of discipline, of the attitude of discipline and determination, because, He's a humongous guy with massive body, physique, bodybuilder, whatever we want to call it, is incredible. And he has that because of his determination. And he brings that determination and dedication into his work. And so what I've learned from him is that if I can also bring that dedication to myself physically, to help my body physically and my mind mentally, I can bring that into my work. And so I can develop my skill sets of speaking, of taking photos, of doing video, of performing on camera. If you want to do more runway, doing runway. Develop skills for dancing for camera. Develop skills for acting for TV dramas and acting for vertical dramas, two very different things, or acting for movies, three very different acting elements or levels. And the same for the commercial acting as well. So bring this incessant dedication and passion for you to become the better version of yourself every single day. And that really is what I take away from episode 4 with Emmanuel. And it truly was an incredible, powerful episode. And it really did just kind of knock this whole typecasting out of the industry, because it makes no difference. It doesn't matter what you look like or what the industry says you are. That's only for that one particular brand or client at that one particular time. In 5 years, you may be what they want. So we also can't look at somebody's success and go, oh, well, that was easy for them. No, because they weren't like that 5 years ago, right? And so we've all got to have this idea that how we see somebody right now and the level of their success and the stuff that they do, it was never like that. It's only like that at this very moment. And so you have the opportunity yourself to start developing that skill set in order to get to that level. And so with anything in this industry, look at what you want to achieve. Look at what elements of success you really want, and reverse engineer that process. All of the guests so far have all said the same thing. And so start to look at these little nuggets of information throughout the Trauma to Success episodes. Every single person has said this exact same thing. Whatever your level of success that you believe is for you, because everybody's level of success is different, look at that and work backwards and start now towards that. Because if you don't, you're not going to get there, because you'll constantly be kind of competing against something that you're not even on the steps towards. So you've got to build up those skill sets. You've got to build up those levels that bring you to the success level that you have, and then continue, right? Not just stop there. Continually develop, continually grow, continually create yourself every single day, so that you can really truly live that fulfillment of life. Now, I urge you to go and watch episode 4, because it really was an incredible episode. And I just want to relook at some things here, because there was one really important thing that Emmanuel was talking about, and it was about like identity and self-belief. And like one of the biggest issues that Emmanuel highlighted was about how people internalize the roles that the industry shows, right? But then that means that they're very limited, and it becomes very repetitive, because the industry's only giving you those roles. And so what happens is, the idea of typecasting is that just those people then just put themselves in that box, because they're like, well, that's all the industry wants. But what he did is say, well, look, we have to maintain a strong internal sense of identity, rather than allowing that external perception shape who we are in the industry. And so what he's really saying there is like, don't just lock yourself in a box. Learn new things, develop your skill sets, break the mold, and have true self-belief that you're on that mission. And that is such a powerful thing to live with every day. And so that was a really incredible part that, yeah, please watch the episode, because you're going to gain so much information from it. Excuse me while I have a glass of water. Still have a little bit of a sore throat from last week. And then one final moment that he was talking about was about the energy and the presence of an individual that is not just about the appearance. So what he talks about was that people assume that the industry responds to the looks or the physical attributes, right? But actually what he says was that the way someone carries themselves, the mindset, the energy that they bring to the room can actually influence how they are perceived by the client and the people around them and the brand. And so he says that if the talent who understand this are actually the ones who often able to break that typecast, and they are able to redefine how others see them. And this is really a powerful tool, and it's so true. I mean, how often have you kind of met somebody and they just have this aura and this energy, and you're just like, wow, like they got something, right? There was nothing to do with how they looked or their physical attributes. It was just, you just feel it. Now, if we can take that into our work as a talent, then imagine what you can step through, what things you can start to achieve, what clients and brands you can start to attract. You develop these skill sets. Not worry about how you look in those terms and think, oh, I'm not the one that they want. No, forget about that. Start working on this kind of mindset and stop comparing. You are you. You are individual, and you can deliver something that no one else can deliver. You can deliver yourself. Nobody else can do that. So remember that every single day. I'm going to finish off with, and I hope that you've enjoyed this live. It's quite a short one, but I just wanted to get across these points from episode 4, because it really, I'm really excited for you to watch it. And of course, if you do get to watch this video, please leave your comments, leave your chats. We'll get back to you. Share your opinions about typecasting as well. And, you know, we're always there to see some conversation started and get everybody on the same mission for just sharing the stories and bring some inspiration to everybody out there. And please subscribe to Trauma to Success. Follow us on Instagram. All these things help as I'm developing and growing the brand and being able to get out there and meet amazing, interesting people that I can then create a podcast for and share that to you. So there's one thing here. Right, let me share this to you. I've got some notes, so I'll just refer back to the notes a little bit. But in general, it goes something like the industry will always have an opinion, right? It labels people quickly, it defines them early, and often decide who they think you are before you've even had the chance to show them otherwise. But that's not actually the real thing to think about, because that's down to that individual brand or client making that decision at that time. Well, the real danger actually is that you start to believe that. And then the moment that you start to allow the industry to define your abilities, your identity, that is actually where the growth stops. But the people who last in this industry and develop and constantly evolve for longevity, well, they're the ones who understand that you may be a certain way today, but you have the power to decide who you become tomorrow. And the most powerful thing that a talent can do is to refuse to stay inside the box that they were placed in. Step outside, develop skill sets, grow and become determined to achieve things that other people may say to you are impossible. But to you, it's your mission, it's your vision. And you have a duty to yourself to deliver that. So get out there, develop your skills, and go towards the success that you want. Thanks for joining this live. Please go and watch episode 4. It was an incredible episode. And I'm going to see you soon to relook and revisit over episode 5, which was actually launched yesterday. So in a few days, I'll be sharing some information about episode 5 as well. Take care. This is Carl Graham. This is Talent Spotlight, Trauma to Success. Have a great day ahead. Wishing you all huge success. And I'll see you soon on the next.